Planet Dolan.
From sexual predators to mad-as-hell murderers, we look at 7 horrifying Uber stories. Hey there, I'm Hellbent. I'm here to learn you suspiciously amazing facts that I didn't just make up. Number 7. What should have been a short trip home ended up being a turbulent detour for one Uber customer. On a ride home one night, her Uber driver took her on a little detour of about 20 miles. Maybe his GPS malfunctioned, you might say. Well, it gets slightly more sinister. He drove her to an empty lot and locked the doors, Ted Bundy style. It wasn't until she started yelling at him that the driver finally caved and took her home. For the temporary kidnapping of a customer, Uber responded by apologizing for her driver's inefficient route and giving her a partial refund. Whew, what a relief. I'm sure the victim replied, "Thanks guys, that driver's route almost landed me in Rape City, but thank you for the partial refund. I feel so much better." Number 6. In 2013, one Uber driver hit a woman and her 2 children with his car as they were crossing the street. The guy was using his Uber app and struck the woman, killing her 6-year-old daughter. He was charged with vehicular manslaughter, but the company's response was disgustingly negligent too. It turned out he had a history of shitty driving, with a reckless driving conviction under his belt for driving into oncoming traffic while his wife and child were in the car. Uber said it wasn't their fault because he hadn't picked up a fare yet. Because he totally wasn't about to start his Uber shift, he would have been on the road anyways. Those people were just destined to die. That's why employers never ask about your criminal history. That was before you were an employee. But hey, who really needs a background check? All that really matters is if he hit that little button on his cell phone before he ran those people over. Number 5. In LA, after a heavy night of drinking, a 26-year-old woman passed out in her Uber. The thoughtful driver took special care to tuck her into bed, except that it wasn't her bed. When she woke up, she was in a motel bed next to her shirtless driver with no memory of how she'd gotten there. The footage at the motel showed the woman being carried to the room by her Uber driver, but the driver maintained she was too drunk to tell him where she lived, so he took her to a motel to sleep it off. But if he was such a good Samaritan, why did he stay for the slumber party? Somehow, the driver wasn't even charged with anything. I guess that means being asleep counts as consent to being kidnapped in some states. Huh, the more you know. Number 4. Some drivers just can't help but to reveal a bit too much of themselves to their fares. And I'm not talking about his political views or details about his personal life. Those might have actually been welcome compared to what this woman experienced. In Kolkata, one woman's Uber driver couldn't help but to share his affection for her, so on the way home he whipped out his gear stick. The driver proceeded to express his lust by jerking his gherkin for the rest of the poor woman's ride home. He was later arrested for an obscene act. The woman said in a statement that she was satisfied with the results, but I bet the driver was less than satisfied that his lady lust didn't appreciate his dipstick. Number 3. In New Delhi, they've actually banned Uber-style apps all because of this incident. In 2014, when a woman was sexually assaulted by her Uber driver, there was an outpouring of outrage from the public and questions over the safety of the ride-sharing service. Then it came out that the driver was out on bail for a different sexual assault. It turned out that in India, when you signed up to be an Uber driver, you just had to show your driver's license and car registration. So without any background checks, they could be sending you Prince Charming or John Wayne Gacy. Thankfully, the driver got life in prison, but I don't think that's gonna restore anybody's faith in the Uber service in India. Number 2. One Uber customer made the unfortunate mistake of questioning the chosen route of his driver. Roberto Chiquez was getting antsy, but the driver took it all very personally, so he pulled over and told Roberto and his friends to get out. Sure, slightly agitating, but then the driver went full psycho and attacked Roberto with a hammer. Poor dude ended up with a fractured skull and had to have facial reconstructive surgery. The Uber driver was rightfully charged with assault and battery. Roberto eventually got a refund, and hopefully Uber paid for some of his medical bills, seeing as how he almost lost an eye. Number 1. You know, we could have actually filled an entire list with the shit this one guy did in a single day. In 2016, a man named Jason Dalton went on a shooting rampage while on his Uber route. Altogether, he shot and killed 6 people and injured 2 others, but in between the attacks, he still picked up his fares and took them to their destinations. Dalton said that the Uber app was controlling his body and mind, and the car told him who to shoot. It even convinced him to put on a bulletproof vest for his rampage. He said that he would have gotten into a shootout with the police too, but the app told him not to do it. Fucking Skynet. Taking a ride from a stranger might seem scary, but it could be worse. What's the scariest thing you've ever experienced while walking home alone? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
First documented serial killers murdered people by means of booby traps that he had at his house. It wasn't just any house though, but a custom-built home that doubled as a hotel, all with the sole intention of murder.